Welcome back, everybody. I'm glad you come back to enjoy another video. At least I'm hoping you're enjoying them. Leave me a comment and let me know one way or the other whether you enjoy them or you just don't want to see any more videos. Anyways, today we're here on the International Pro Star, the 2016 again. And what we're going to do is these buttons on the steering wheel. The engine brake works, the horn works, the radio buttons work erratically. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. The cruise control, if I play with the button and twist it around, I can get it to work, but most of the time I can't get it to work. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace it. What I did is I went online and got them. I called International dealership here in Atlanta. For these buttons here, they want like $600 for the buttons, and then they charge a $120 core charge, which I've never heard of before I heard about this core charge on electrical items. Usually they don't want electrical items back. They won't give you a refund on electrical items. They don't want them back normally. For some reason, International wants these back if you get them from International. Like I said, they're like $600 with a $120 core charge until you take the old ones back. What I did is I went online, of course, because it's not something that's going to prevent the truck from running up and down the road. I mean, you don't have to have an engine brake. You don't have to have controls for the radio. You really don't have to be blowing the air horn at everybody. You have feet you can actually use for the pedals. You don't have to use cruise control. So you don't have to have these, but it is nice to have them. So I went online, got them for a whole lot cheaper than what International wants. To replace these things, it's fairly simple. Now, what I'm doing here right now is I'm sitting in a dock. A friend of mine asked me to bring a trailer up for them to unload it. So I'm physically sitting in dock. I'm not even at the house or garage or anything. I'm sitting in dock while they're unloading the trailer. And this is how simple this is. So you just grab a hold of the horn button, give it a quick yank, lift it up. You don't have to disconnect it. Just set it up there on top of the dash, or the steering wheel, I'm sorry. There's 4 screws on here. There's one here, one here, one here, one here. Then you got a couple wire ties, and then you got a plug. And then you got these here that plug in. And it's fairly simple. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead, I think it looks like about this size. Yep, that's a 10. So we're gonna go ahead and get this out of the way. Now we know what size we're gonna be using here. I'm gonna go ahead and get these wire ties out of here. Here's a pair of wire cutters. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut these wire ties just like that. So the wires are actually free. Now, let's see. Not 100% positive how these come out. Okay, here we go. This little piece right here, just push the tabs so you can actually free it up, get them out of there. And then, yeah, almost have to twist these little pieces right here a little bit to be able to get the wires out individually, because they won't come out all at one time. So you just go ahead and work them out from underneath like I'm doing here, 1 or 2 at a time to be able to get them out. And as you can see, it just looks like a little hook right there. I'm hoping you can see it in the camera. And then come over this side and do the same thing, 1 or 2 at a time. And then just go ahead and get the torque bit screwdriver in there, unscrew them, unscrew the screws. Not real difficult, fairly straightforward, simple. Just don't lose the screws because you're going to need them to put the old ones back, the new ones back in. And then you do the same thing on this side. Whoops. Alright. I just dropped the screwdriver. I got to open the door to get the screwdriver. Okay. And like I said, don't lose these little tiny screws here. I'm trying to hold the camera and get these little things out of here. Use my glasses case here to hang on to them so I don't lose them. Like I said, I'm trying to do this and hold the camera at the same time, and it does make it a little difficult. I can get the rest of the wires out so I can lift that one up out of the where it goes. I mean, if you're not going to reuse these controls, you can probably just go ahead and snip them. But something else you might be able to do, seeing how the dealership wants $120 core charge for them, if you don't cut the wires, you might be able to make yourself a little money and see if your international dealership will actually pay you for the old switches that you would normally just throw away. Okay, and then here you just unplug that, unplug this one. If you're careful, you can use the wire cutters and pull them up out, but you gotta be careful you don't cut them or break anything while you're doing it. Just like that. Okay, well, I guess you do have to take it off the horn button, because it looks like the horn button's hooked to it, which ain't no big deal. I mean, just a third connection, and they just fell on the floor. So you got to take the horn button off, apparently. And here's what I got online. They look a whole lot better than what I just took off there. Just make sure you put them back on proper sides. I don't know if they would fit on. No, I don't think they'd go on wrong, would they? Let's find out. Nope. You have no choice but how they go on. So they only go on one way. You can't mix them up. You can't put them on backwards, upside down, or anything like that. They actually give you these little pieces here, which I don't see where you'd actually plug them in. These little pieces. So they're really not necessary. I mean, you can leave them on there or take them off. It's up to you. But it's fairly simple. You just plug these blue ones in where the red ones were, and hook this up. Put these wires back underneath these little hooks, and put your screws back in. And then this here actually just pops in. These pieces right here just go ahead and they sit down in here. They'll self-center and give the horn button or the horn a good solid hit. Don't try and drive it through the truck now, but just give it a good hit. It'll pop in and you're all done. It's that simple. And I'm doing this sitting here in the dock. Well, I do appreciate everybody for coming back, and just watch out for my next video. And thank you, everybody. Hit the bell button, subscribe, all this stuff, and I thank you. Have a better day. Here's the end result. It's all back together. It looks a whole lot better than what it did before. Here's the old ones, so you can actually compare how bad the old ones were and how bad they actually look compared to the new ones. Brand new controls. Back in control of the cruise control, back in control of the Jake brakes, the air horn, the marker intermittent switch, the headlight intermittent switch, the radio volume up and down, channels up and down, and it looks good.